Welcome everybody to the S&T Bank Arena, where tonight your Hawks take on the RMU Colonials. By my side, my assistant, my right hand, kind of jack of all trades, Mr. Gavin Cummings, done a tremendous job with the team this year. Gavin, how are you tonight?
Good. This is, a nice rendition of Coach's Corner powered by Marcal.
That's true. You know anybody that works for them?
Some high representatives in the company.
Okay, we'll go with that. Hey, Gavin, I want to start out with checking out my hair. I got a haircut. What do you think?
Great. How much did it cost you?
Nah, not a thing, Gavin. Do it myself.
Did you see Ovechkin got a haircut the other day? $70. I guess if you're making millions and millions of dollars, $70 is like $5 to you. But
I don't think I've had a haircut in probably 50 years.
Really?
I always do it myself.
See,
these days it's a little easier.
Yeah, Alyssa's mom does my hair, so I get a free haircut every time too.
There you go. It's called resourcefulness.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of our personal drama with our hair. By the way, your hair looks great tonight.
Thanks.
As well. Let's turn our focus to the Hawks. We cracked the top 20 this week, huh?
Yeah, ranked 19th in the nation here at ACHA D1.
It just seems like yesterday when you and I started out here and we struggled to win hockey games, we struggled to make the playoffs, and we looked at teams and thought, wow, someday we'd like to be like them.
Right.
And now when we look at the rankings, we see all those teams we wanted to be, they're below us.
Right, and then we're right there up top.
So let's talk a little bit about the weekend coming up. This is a big weekend for us, obviously. When you get into the national spotlight, every game, every goal, every shift seems to matter a little bit more. So let's talk about this weekend, Gavin. Let's talk first about our opponent tonight, RMU. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, starting out the weekend at another CHMA matchup against RMU. They're always a good team. They're always they're sneaky. They got some good guys. I know they're bringing in a lot of freshmen this year, so they might be a little inexperienced, but that doesn't mean anything to us. We got to come in ready to play every game. Doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ice here. But yeah, we got RMU tonight, big game, and then we got Kent State tomorrow away at Kent State, and they're currently undefeated in the CHMA. So they're the team to take down right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. We tell our guys every game, we know whatever opponent we're playing brings their best. Put their best foot forward. We know we're the benchmark, and unfortunately, we get everybody's best game, but that's okay. We're up for the challenge tonight.
Yeah. That kind of comes with being ranked, right? And not even essentially just this year, but in years past. I think with the success that we've had in our D1 program here, winning multiple league championships and going to nationals year in and year out, I think it's kind of shown that to the other teams in our division here, that we're nothing to be messed with here.
It helps with our recruiting too. You and I have been on more than a few recruiting calls over the last couple of weeks, and we're excited about some of the players I think we're going to get for next year as well. So the program's definitely, we're on our way upward. Well, let's focus on tonight a little bit more again. Let's talk about who we're getting back. We're getting a whole bunch of players back from the injured list. You want to cover who they are?
Yeah, we get Hunter Fairman back. Obviously, it's a big pickup again, coming back off a little bit of a concussion the past week. And then you got Nathan Miola, Jace Rierick. Jace Rierick's been unstoppable for us this year, scoring goals and, recording a lot of assists. So it's good to get him healthy and back in the lineup. And then, like I said, we got Hunter Fairman back. We're moving him back to D. We got Sean Donovan out for a little bit here with a little injury into his hand. So, we're moving back Hunter.
That's an upper body injury.
Yeah, there you go. And so I said, we're moving Hunter back, but we don't have any worry moving Hunter back. He played, 85% of the season last year on the defensive end, so kind of comfortable position for him to be in. And I think he's just stepping into this role tonight, and I think he's going to provide us a great help.
You talk a little bit about how practice was this week. I really thought this week was a great week of practice. We gave the boys Tuesday off to let them heal a little bit, but I thought Thursday especially, we had a little bit of fun at practice. The boys were moving the puck around a little bit. Special teams looked real good for us as well. What are your thoughts on practice this week?
Yeah, like you said, we gave the boys off Tuesday. We need a recovery here. We can't be going 5-6 days a week and then right back into it every. These aren't 16, 17-year-old boys who are nimble, and they need a day off to recover. So yeah, we gave them off Tuesday, and then we got right into it on Wednesday. A lot of teamwork Wednesday, a lot of 5-on-5, 3-on-2, a little bit of skills. Just getting back into the roll of things, and then back into Thursday where, working on special teams. I think we did a very, very good job on special teams. We were putting the puck in the back of the net, which is, nice to see, especially just during practice. But then we got into a little bit of 5-on-5, and the boys competed hard on Thursday. It was nice to see, and along with having fun, they were competing hard, and it was good.
Yeah, I think that's key. I mean, we're certainly practicing with compete in mind, and that's what you need to do when you practice. So we turn our spotlight on what we have left first semester. Boy, the first semester has gone by rapidly. Usually does when you're winning hockey games, but it seems like it's just yesterday we were at training camp.
Right.
Talk about how important it is to close out the semester.
It's huge. Like you said, I feel like I was just in this spot, 2 weeks ago watching training camp, just, deciding who's going to make the team and where we're going to place guys. But, this first semester has been a great success. We've had, I do the lineup sheet every game, and, updating our record, and it's 14-2-2, and it's just like, kind of hits you a little bit, and it's like, wow, we've won a lot of hockey games this semester, and we've only, those losses, they seem like they hurt us a lot, but 2 losses in a whole semester is kind of big for us, But this is huge to kind of finish out this week here, and then the boys get a nice little break for Thanksgiving, go home, see their families, get a nice meal from mom and dad, and then we come back for a weekend series against Buffalo, and we got a little bit of revenge for them. So that's the only team that's kind of taken us down this year in regulation. So we got some revenge coming to finish out the first semester, and then get the boys off, and then we're back at it. Early January with some outdoor games against Lawrence Tech.
That's exciting as well. The outdoor game we're looking forward to. Hopefully it's not 5 degrees below zero and the wind whipping 82 miles an hour. A fellow like me is going to have some trouble unless I got a nice warm hat. I might have to maybe ask Santa for one.
Might have to double up on the toques or something.
Yeah, maybe Santa will bring me a nice warm hat or something, Coach. I don't know. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody watching. Should be a good hockey game tonight for sure. Just enjoy the broadcast. I want to shout out to Josh Yates and his partner who do the games. They do such a tremendous job. The graphics, the replays, really professionally well done by these guys. Just a shout out to them constantly about what they do for our program. We have a lot of recruits. We get 800 to 1,000 views of these games, and we always get comments on what a great job they do. So shout out to them. Yeah. Sit back and enjoy a good hockey game.
Just a little bit on that too. It brings me back to my freshman sophomore year where you're having to scratch, just record the game, and you watch the game back,
sound.
And there's nothing. Yeah, you don't listen to anything.
I think they scored.
Yeah. So you never know, but we watch the games all the time. Just after every game, just to kind of re-see what we watched in person. Sure. But I think it's great to these guys do a tremendous job. Alex Duffalo and Josh Yates, and then the girls too. The girls have been helping us out social media wise, recording TikToks on the Instagram. It's just been a huge help, and I think that also comes along with some of the success that we've been having. You see a team that you don't just want to join the team, and then the guys don't want to do anything and they're not having fun. So it's nice to see the girls help out. These 2 gentlemen here are a huge, tremendous help to us this year. Not only just what they do, but also in the recruiting process. And there's many times this week that we've been on these recruiting calls and we've mentioned this. So
or we've mentioned some of the videos they've made. And we've got recruits watching our games all the time now. So, yeah, they're a big part of the program. I just didn't want to go without mentioning that to them. We thank them and look forward to the rest of the season and them helping us not only broadcast, but to help us recruit in the next year. This is Coach Hanzo.
Coach Gavin.
And sit back and enjoy the game.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the CHMA pregame show. Last weekend, your IUP Crimson Hawks upset the number 18 Westchester Golden Rams in a 6-5 and 6-3 two-game weekend series. With some depth players headlining those wins for the Crimson Hawks, IUP jumped from number 25 to number 19 on the national ACHA rankings. For the first meeting of their season series tonight, RMU and IUP will go at it here at home. RMU holding a 5-10-1 record against IUP's 14-2-2 overall season record. As for last year, the Hawks got the better of the Colonials in their season series after a 7-3 home win and a 5-2 win on the road. It's a tall task for the Colonials coming into S&T Bank tonight with a 3-4 record on the road against IUP's 8-1 record at home. As for the conference standings, RMU is 2-2 in the CHMA against IUP's 3-1, which they look to advance here tonight against the Colonials. That's all for this edition of the CHMA pregame show. Me and Alex will be up in the booth to present you RMU versus IUP. IUP hockey. Yep.
Widely accepted.
Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to tonight's game between IUP and Wabash University. For your visitors tonight, on defense, number 3, Tyler Radeye. Also on D, number 4, Andrew Finnegan. At wing, number 14, Corbin Ragnow. Also wing, number 19, Devin Warwick. At center, number 8, Zach Levens. And goal, number 30, Patrick Colburn. And for your Hawks, on defense, number 3, Hunter Fairman. Number 43, Jake Schmelzer at D. At wing, number 23, Caleb Hoffman. Also at wing, number 25, Jay Swearick. At center tonight, number 57, Shane Miller. And in goal for your Hawks, number 40, Shane Paremba. Would you please rise and move your hats for the playing of the national anthem?
More eyes on the Crimson Hawks day after day. The recently ranked number 19 Crimson Hawks back in CHMA play here tonight against RMU. As always, my name is Josh Yates, handling the play-by-play duties beside me, Alex Duffalo, and he'll be handling the color duties as we're getting ready for puck drop here tonight against RMU.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what approach they take this game. Because, I mean, you can't discredit RMU out of playing a tough game, but it's certainly going to be an easier one on paper compared to the game they'll play tomorrow at Kent State. So I think you're going to see some tactics employed that you won't normally see from Hanzo, just to test out the waters and see what they can do tomorrow.
A couple of quick tries early. But yeah, as we mentioned in the pregame show, as you mentioned as well, it's going to be an uphill climb for RMU here tonight. IUP getting the best of them in their recent matchups last year. There's a shot on. First stop there by Paremba in net. So here come the Hawks the other way. That first line out there, it's Hoffman, Miller, and Jace Rearick. On defense, Hunter Fairman and Jake Schmelzer. Fairman dropping back and playing that defensive role tonight with the loss of Sean Donovan to a thumb injury. So Donovan is out of the lineup. Fairman, we mentioned it so many times before last season, of course this year as well. Hunter Fairman is just that Swiss Army knife, and he is able to go in and out as we see our first penalty of the evening.
Yeah,
Caught both of us a little off guard.
Yeah, as I was watching down low, it looked like he might have just signaled to him, because he turned around and asked him what it was, and he gave like a hooking signal. So I think that's what the call will be. But we'll wait and see what they say over the announcements here.
Yeah. So we're going to get a look here at IUP's power play for the first time of the evening. It's Loza on the right wing. Hooking is the call. Kept in there by Maddox. Rear kill, cycle it down low for Loza. Back up high, Maddox. Loza at the point, walks the blue line. A little miscommunication. Just push back in for Schmelzer there at the left wing. And he pushes it down low. Johnson is the second unit for the Crimson Hawks on the power play. Now RMU gets the clear. Paremba out of his crease to collect it down low. Cycle the rush with 1:18 left on the power play. Here's Maddox Rearick in the zone on the left side. Dumps it back for Spencer Johnston. All the way around for Maddox. Below the goal, Johnson. Loza, right wing. Centering feed for Adams. It's pushed away. Now Johnson regains. Out into loose ice. Maddox Rearick collects. Again, down low for Johnson. He'll just advance it to Schmelzer on the other side. Maddox Rearick uses a skate to stop that puck, pushing it for Loza. Try and get it down in deep, center and feed. In close, a backhand try. Schmelzer throws one on and a glove save. There by Patrick Colburn, the man in the net for the Colonials this evening. It's a 4-5 record with a .933 save percentage so far this year. So he's definitely going to be tested against IUP's offense. We see a face-off in their zone here. Won by IUP, but it just slowly leaves the zone. The Hawks will reset. 37 seconds left on the power play. Chase Rearick in his own end. Trying to stay away from that Colonials push, but it's all the way back in on Colburn. Tudich holds the line. Dumps it down low again for Miller. Miller cycling through the middle, gives it off to Fairman up high. Down low for Chase Rearick, centering pass for Miller. The loose puck's collected by Malloy. Throws on the brakes on the goal line. Off the backboard for Jace Rearick. So unable to handle it cleanly, and RMU gets the clear. That'll expire the power play, yeah.
Oh, the Fairman's moving pretty quick here.
Back in with some speed. RMU stops the rush. Trying to hold it in is Tudich. Here goes RMU the other way. So they get the dump all the way in. The first man there is Zachary Blevins. Centering pass on the back door is a great tie up there by Ty Burkett. Again, Blevins in the far corner. They're trying to leave the zone.
Nice
Miller smashes this man in there. Out to center ice now. A hard dump in by RMU. 16:39 remaining here in the first. IUP gets another clear. The loose puck collected by Miola. He's back in the lineup after an injury. Slows it up, centering it for Solomon. Mishandled feed. Now RMU has control. Cross ice pass for RMU. It's Blevins again taking it into the zone. He'll turn it around. Shot from up high. A couple of deflections, pushes it wide. It's tangled up here in the near corner. It shuffles all the way out to neutral ice, but they did try and take the shot. RMU has to tag up. Sight's slowing it down. Letting the pattern settle. A wayward pass for Burkett. It does leave the zone though. Gray's just going to push it forward. All the way in on Colburn. And we'll stop the clock. 15:50 remaining here in the first. 4 registered shots on net for IUP, 3 for RMU. Neither team really settling in yet on offense. There's RMU off the draw. Loose puck in neutral ice. Soy's the first one there. Pushes it for Tudich. Tudich gets a touch into the zone, but RMU has it now. Here right in front of us, Loza sticking away. Tudich tags up and gets right back on the forecheck. Owen shuffling through the blue paint for Colburn, but IUP just relentless here on the forecheck. Dump in by Filson. Bouncing puck in on Colburn, but he'll push it away. There's Medved behind his own net. He's trying to start the rush. The other way here is Passanante. Right up the right side, and he'll dump it in down in the near corner. Soy's the first one there. So he's taken into that far corner, but it somehow pokes it away from Maddox Rearick. Battle for it here on the near wall. Another battle through center ice.
Nice interception.
Yeah, you got the loose puck there, but immediately giving back up to Spears. Spears enters in and cycles it, reversing the boards. Now down low. Maddox Rearick starting it up. Coming up the left side. Puts on the burners, and he stood up there by Medved. Nifty little move there by the RMU defenseman, trying to start that rush. It was a mishandled pass by Evans. Now here's IUP. Johnson trying to feed Malloy, but a great stick by the back checker. Another turnaround try, stick save. Kicking it to the near corner. Now it's out to the point for Schmelzer. He tries to cycle it. RMU had the interception, dumps it out to neutral ice. First one there is Evans. Evans backhands it down into the far corner. Schmelzer holding his man off. He comes away with it. Now here's Malloy right in front of his own bench. Lofted pass for Johnston. He'll wave off the ice as he got a stick on it. Now Johnston down low. Up high for Fairman. Fairman with some speed. Tries to push it out high for Malloy. He saw the angle. It was a great interception there by Kohlberg.
Trying for a hit middle ice there was Malloy. A good attempt, but he got stood up a little bit. Nice reverse hit there from RMU.
Kohlberg just shuffled one all the way in on Paremba to get a quick line change. So it's a new unit out there for RMU, but IUP is holding them off so far. Here's Moran. Centering it across and then a clear into the zone by Chiamonte. Great job by Harvey holding his man off. A couple tries by RMU. Another turnaround. Puck ends up behind the net. Now it's up at the point. A shot in, couple deflections. It was kicked away by Paremba. Chase Rear gets the loose puck, leaving the zone, hits a speeding Miller, and he'll dump it softly in. Hoffman getting on his mucking ability. And now it comes out, RMU has it. Another great stick there by Rearick. Stop that try, 12:40 to go here. Still pretty even hockey. Burgett with a nice pass for Jace Rearick through center ice. He's unable to get there to the loose puck. Miller trying to jar it loose. Miola joining it now as well. Here's Roerick. It's a top scorer for RMU. Stood up there by Soya. Great defensive play. Now he'll stretch it for Miola in neutral ice, then to Jace Rearick. RMU again. Here's Miller to the loose puck. He turned it around, but it's blocked in the lane by the Colonials. A soft clear, of course, hits the rafters here at S&T Bank.
Yeah, that was I think last break we had was 15:50 left in this period, so down to 12:09. We had a decent amount of free play there, and what I'm seeing so far, it seems RMU's taken like a run and gun approach. They're trying to look for them long passes and use their speed to their advantage, whereas the Hawks are just trying to set up and be a little bit more strategic with what they're provided.
There's Roerick to center ice for Blevins, excuse me. A tip by Gray up into RMU's bench. On that center ice pass, it's out of play. You see the neutral ice draw here. A new unit for the Crimson Hawks. There's Filson, Tudich, and Loza, the forwards, backed by Schmelzer and Fairman.
Oh, beautiful win there by Loza.
Out to center ice. Fairman collects it. Throws it off the boards for Tudich. He's met there at RMU's bench. Here's Loza trying to center Filson, but it was a great stick there by Finnegan to block the lane. Now Schmelzer dumps it down in low. Loza got the tip. Now Filson at the goal line. On the left wing, up high, he finds Fairman, but he's unable to handle it clearly. It's out to neutral ice. 11:17 remaining. Tudich trying to dump it in, but it's held in there. Medved right back out to center ice. There's Ragno with a soft dump. It did look like Roerick got tied up there with Fairman's stick, I believe. And they were offsides. So, of course, everything after the whistle didn't matter. That would have been a penalty, I believe.
Yeah, I was a little confused at first as I was watching on. I saw him go down, and it was a pretty obvious trip, but there was no like whistle blown. So I was like, is there a call? Is there just reset and play? But yeah, that offsides was a little bit of a work of wonder.
Right. There's Filson in the near corner doing his grinding work. Center and feed for Loza. Now Burkett to the loose puck. Hard pass to Seitz. Seitz shuffles one in, a deflection, blocks it in the lane. Goes to Bransky that got a piece of it. Now RMU the other way. LaQuatra throwing it off the glass. Burkett got the loose puck, now fighting for it in neutral ice. Filson pushing it all the way over for Seitz. Seitz going to take it himself. Soft dump in. He's still down there. Now RMU trying to break out. It's past Nante.
Nice hit by Lowe's on the boards. That puck surprisingly did not hit the rafters. Wow, it was floating there.
There's Filson holding his man off, has some speed into the zone. Just killing time off. Now here's Passanante again. Right in front of RMU's bench. Adams with the active stick. Down into IUP's end. RMU's going to get a change. Just past the halfway point of this period. There's RMU starting it up from their own end. Finnegan was trying to start it, but Adams got a stick in the lane.
Oh man, what a steal.
Now here's Adams, had it on his backhand, but a great stick by Dobransky. Dobransky and Adams just going at it there at the loose puck. Now finally it jars loose. So there is a delayed penalty against IUP as we see Colburn leaving the net. Pass went through a couple of legs. RMU with an extra skater. Dobransky centering it in, a pass on. A shot on. Did get the pad save for Paremba, and IUP got the touch. So looks like it's going to be Jordan Adams heading to the penalty box. He doesn't seem too pleased of the call. Either way, IUP on the penalty kill for the first time of the evening.
Yeah, and Adams was working pretty hard there. That's some of the most hustle I've seen him put in all year. That little spurt he had right there kind of took me by surprise. But nonetheless, he ends up in the box for something there. We'll wait and see what the official call was and see how the first penalty kills go.
Quick clear. Hoffman was getting a loose puck right off the draw. Colburn was slow to get back to the net. You never want number 23 to catch you on your heels. It's a hard clear by Schmelzer all the way down. Again, Colburn out of his net. Hoffman just gonna take this one easy on that clear.
It is amazing how fast he flies up the ice.
Yeah, he's sort of one of those guys that can go 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. It's sort of just a tap with his skates, and he's going.
Yeah, he's an all-wheel drive sports car, that's for sure.
RMU entering the zone now in the near corner. Passanante takes a little shoulder check there by Schmelzer, and they get a soft clear down. Colburn again, well out of his crease, keep the puck alive. 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining on the power play. There's Medved from his own end, entering the zone. Passanante on the right wing. I'll cycle it down low. Schmelzer again taking him to the wall.
Oh man, Schmelzer riding him along the wall too. That was a great play. Sticking with him.
So they're sticking away at it. Now the puck loose. Shorthanded opportunity for the Hawks. Maddox Rear just split the D all alone. Has on his backhand, feeds Malloy, and a great save by Colburn. A lot of energy still for IUP shorthanded. Just a highlight reel save by Colburn there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from up here, Josh, it looked like Malloy had a nice, beautiful open net for him, and he covered that ground pretty quick.
Still glued in their own end, RMU is. 20 seconds left here on the power play. Miller trying to pick it away. Malloy getting a little physical. Now into neutral ice. Here's Chiaramonte. Into the right side, centering feed. A great stick by Loza to break it up. Now one, a hard backhand onto Paremba. Now we're back to full strength. Here's Loza with some speed on his backhand. He'll throw it in. Glove save by Colburn. And the clock will stop with 7:14 remaining. So now we're back to 5-on-5.
I absolutely loved the aggressiveness that the Hawks showed there throughout that penalty kill. They were actually, looking to score the puck. And you saw with Hoffman, I think Hoffman kind of lit the fire amongst all the guys during the penalty kill when he went for that pass out from the goalie.
There's Filson over to Tudich right off the draw. Harvey from the point shuffling one in. Is blocked in the lane by Chiaramonte. There's another shot by Tudich. There's Filson on the goal line. He'll take his shot up high. Amazing. 88.
Oh my goodness. We'll check out the replay here in a second, folks. Here it comes right here. Beautiful movement around, and Filson had time to set this up here. As you see, he gathers the puck and, debates on it, and wow. That's a tight window to put a puck through, and you don't get much better than that. It's a perfect shot, perfect placement. Absolute snipe.
Filson said, "Don't mind if I do." Walked right down Broadway and picked his corner. 1-0 the score. 6:48 remaining here in the first period. IUP with an early lead. Loza getting right back on the forecheck. Filson still on the ice. Sliding the loose puck to Harvey, and that one all the way up into the stands. That was a hard deflection over here.
Hit one of the heaters.
Yeah. Neutral ice draw. This will be a new unit out there for the Hawks.
We'll see what these guys can do here. This is that gritty line. You have one line per game that you expect to just absolutely wear down the other team, and this is that line right here for Hanzo.
RMU's try. Miola blocking it in the lane. A quick shot on, shuffling through. A lot of chaos. Now bounces through. A shot from the point. Paremba well out of his crease and in a weird position. And he sort of just shouldered that post to get it off its pegs to get a whistle. There's a couple of in-close saves there for Paremba. The current shot counter sitting 9-7 in favor of the Crimson Hawks.
I think it's notable to point out, too, how Fairman was willing to get down there on one knee in front of Paremba while he was on his butt so he could protect other parts of the net that Paremba wasn't covering.
All right, of course, defenseman's job when they see a goaltender, their goaltender, I should say, in an odd position, it's all hands on deck. Get in any physical position you can to, play the goaltender's position while they're in that vulnerable spot. All the way out to neutral ice. Here's that grittiness that you were talking about. All the way down, Gray getting involved. A little shoulder check.
Nice
Another big hit by Solomon. It's Miola from the slot. He takes one, fires and misses wide. Now it's out to neutral ice. Schmelzer the first one there. He'll slide it to Fairman. Fairman stretching it for Solomon. It's met there by the stick of Radeye. And here's IUP from their own end with 5:30 remaining. Schmelzer stick handling through and rips one above the net. Now he'll get back to his position. And RMU starting their rush. Here's Passanante, unable to handle it cleanly, and Schmelzer there to the loose puck. Fairman to Miola. He gets a touch, so no ice. There's Finnegan to the loose puck. Backhanding it around for Passanante again. Soft dump avoids the rafters right to the glove of Hoffman. Chase Rearick has to tag up, and he does. But now here's RMU again. Cutting up the left side, Spears gets the dump. Passanante on the receiving side. He'll shuffle one in, but Rearick is there. Another cross-ice pass for Soy. Soy trying to feed Miller. Loose puck. First one there, Spears. He takes a shot and a save by Paremba. In the near corner, Soy's there. Throws it around the backside for Maddox Rearick. 4:30 remaining. Finds Hoffman at their own blue line. Couple of loose puck battles. Schmidt cycles it down low. Does look like it hit somebody on the bench.
I'm assuming it's Mio, because Mio was the only player that did not move a single inch when that puck went towards the bench.
Yes, so Miola definitely had no clue that puck was going that direction. Either way, neutral ice draw on the offensive side for the Hawks, but RMU comes away with it. Throwing it off the boards, a backboard pass. All the way into IUP's zone. Soys tries to cycle it around. He ties his man up. Rearick gets the loose puck. Maddox, that is, trying to feed Adams. Adams takes a hard hit. His head sort of banged off the glass. Johnson's got to tag up, and he does. Now they enter the zone. Malloy trying to get physical, has it on the goal line, down below the goal line now.
Oh, man, some great moves to get around that defense, both when he was on the boards and behind the net there.
This line playing with a lot of passion as well. Malloy and Adams both laying their body on the line. Malloy still fighting for it. That's a big defenseman he's going up against. Now going the other way, here's Kohlberg. He dumps it in. Seitz is the first one there. Out to neutral ice, Johnson off the boards for Malloy. Here's Johnson again. Malloy into the zone. On the left side.
Nice move.
Cuts right into the middle and tried to feed Johnson streaking down. He'll just cycle it down deep. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Johnson centering feed. And a shot right into the chest of Colburn.
That was some beautiful puck movement there, going, making circles around the goal and going post to post. Eventually it's going to open something up.
Yeah, those three forwards in Johnson, Malloy, and Adams have just been playing with each other for so long that, of course, they know where each other are going to be at any given moment. So much chemistry on that line.
Yeah, it almost seems like muscle memory as we watch them play.
There's Tudich to Loza down below the goal. But RMU coming away with it. Filson rips a shot. Pad save by Kohlberg. Tudich was waiting for that puck to find the blade of his stick, because he was going to fire it again. There's RMU from their own end. Rorick into neutral ice. Seitz is the first one there. Got a stick. A shot from that low slot. Missed wide. Now IUP trying to start it up the other way. Loza finds Filson. Another cross ice feed for Tudich. He throws one on. It's blocked there in the lane by Ragno. Tudich hits the streaking Fairman. Fairman takes it down deep. He throws on the brakes. Loose puck there for Loza. Tudich at the point. Back to Fairman on the right wing, and he breaks his stick. Starts RMU's rush. Going the other way, there's Rorick on the right wing. He takes a shot. There's a great pad save there by Paremba, which did knock the net off of its moorings. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the first period.
There had to have been like a snap that happened, or like a stick check that happened with Fairman's stick, because that was an interesting break. I mean, he received the puck, and it just almost fell apart.
Yeah,
He looked down at his hands, and he had two different sticks in each hand.
Of course, we know Fairman has great, I'll say, puck IQ and puck knowledge. He knows where the puck is at when he has control of it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And he sort of looked down at his feet, and it confused me as well.
Yeah.
You know,
what is he doing?
He was sort of questioning where the puck was at. By the way, here's RMU. Shot from the slot, one-timer. Great pad save there by Paremba. Still another cross-ice pass. There was nobody there to receive it. A slapper by the RMU defenseman, missed wide.
Moose is moving across the crease pretty well so far tonight.
RMU to the loose puck. Of course, not without Fairman there. Great skate there by Jake Schmelzer to block that cross-ice feed.
Oh, here comes an opportunity here.
Rierick takes his shot. There's a glove save and an early whistle. Either way, a great stop there by Colburn, as he's held pretty tall for most of IUP's tries, of course, except for that Filson goal earlier in the period. IUP has tested him 12 times so far. He's only allowed one behind him. So we'll see this draw to the left of Colburn. The Rhode Island native in net for RMU. Out to neutral ice. Rorick trying to gather. Here's Blevins cutting through a couple of Crimson Hawks. Of course, the last line of defense is Soy there. He glues him to that far corner. Still fighting for it over there. Loose puck. Swiped to Maddox Rierick. We hear the 1 minute mark. Still in the neutral ice. Back in their own end, Soy has it. Take it up himself. A little fake pass there as he's still trying to gain control down low. Has it on the goal line. He'll cycle it the other way. RMU's the first one there.
Usually don't see that type of carry up ice by Soy. That was pretty cool to see him have the confidence and split the D like that.
Of course, if RMU is going to give him that lane to take it, with a clean entry into the zone, can never pass that opportunity up. But here's RMU's try. They get the entry on the left side. Moran has it. Again, a little backhand try, but Johnson was there to stop it. Malloy into the zone. They stay on sides. Pushes it to his backhand. He takes a shot, tries to go up high. It caught the shoulder of Colburn.
Nice
2
hit.
seconds left. Malloy still fighting until he hears the whistle. And there it is. As that closes out the first period here between RMU and IUP. Gavin Filson has been the only scorer of the evening so far with that electric little wrister there. About the 6 minute mark, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, IUP's got the early lead.
And well deserved. I mean, I can't stress enough how awesome that shot was to see live here. It's one of those shots you watch on TV and you see an NHL player. Granted, they're probably ripping one from about twice the distance at the same angle, but nonetheless, it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, there's no way he was able to shoot that in the back of the net. But the Hawks so far have looked good, and they're spacing well and moving the puck well. I'd like to see them work on their pass reception a little bit. I've seen a lot of pucks just kind of bounce off the blades of their stick as they're trying to get some longer passes in. So if they soften up the hands a little bit, I think you'll see a lot smoother play in the next period.
And for sure, Colburn challenged Filson early, and he gave the Hawks the early lead. For the IUP Hockey Network, my name is Josh Shades. With me, Alex Duffalo, and we'll be back to present you the second period of play. Welcome back, everybody, to the second period of play live here on the IUP Hockey Network. My name is Josh Yates. With me, as always, Alex Duffalo. Of course, the score here, 1-0 after an electric little wrist shot by Gavin Filson there in the first period. So we switch sides and puck drop there for the second period. An early try by RMU, of course, in all blue, attacking from right to left now. IUP in the white and red going from left to right. Moose down on our end now. There's a shot by Schmelzer, a glove save by Colburn. The shot counter is sitting 13-9 in favor of the Crimson Hawks. We're talking off air, IUP looking a little lackadaisical in the shot department. See what kind of conversation happened there in the locker room, see if they can apply a little bit more pressure on Colburn and his Colonials.
Yeah, they definitely have some more opportunities to throw more on the net. It just seems like they're not taking them.
Here's a try for IUP. Jace Rearick, there's on the left wing. From the half wall, tries to loft it for Fairman, and he does, but he is unable to collect it cleanly. And here's a rush for RMU. Shot from the left wing, and it finds the back of the net. That was off the stick of Ragno. Just like that, RMU ties it up at 1.
Yeah, I think that was one of them pucks that was like kind of just a weird shot for Paremba to handle. Seemed like it might have knuckled a little bit and snuck through in between his glove and his body, that little 7-hole area.
One of the top scorers for RMU. It's Ragno's 16th point of the season, his 6th goal of the season. As he continues to add on to that point per game stat that he currently holds. One of 2 players for RMU. That being him and Devin Rorick. It's RMU in their own end. IUP trying to disrupt. Maddox Rearick at the point. It's Soy. Soy slides one in, couple deflections. There's no problem there for Colburn. Glove save and another stoppage.
Yeah, I like that idea. Let's kind of crowd up that space in front of the net, set some screens, and have some point shots go through. I mean, they did it earlier in the season. The Hawks had some really good goals come from deflections from point shots, so see him try for that again.
Right in front of RMU's bench. Now leaving the zone. A little misfire of the goal horn here at S&T Bank.
Just got to check if it's working from time to time, that's all.
That one deflected up and out of play into IUP's bench. See another draw in IUP's offensive zone. 5 out there. Johnson, Malloy, and Adams, the forwards, backed by Soy and Maddox Rearick. Here's Johnson, the face-off dot. Tied up. Coming away with it is RMU. Out to the zone now. Now entering in on the right side. A shot by Ragno, misses wide. Again, down low, centering feed, and a great save there. I'm not sure really what that hit. I think it got Moose's shoulder.
Yeah.
Either way, it stayed out. But here's RMU's try. They got a little energy. Another shot. Sticked away, back behind the net. Again, the net off its pegs.
Yeah, that was impressive. Little one-time opportunity right in front of the net, and Moose was able to cover that ground pretty easily.
Might have even caught some of his mask. It just made a weird sound.
It did make a weird sound, yeah. I heard it through the headset.
So I was trying to question where it hit.
Might have hit that little like pocket where if you shrug the shoulder up, you kind of get that little closed gap between your neck and shoulder.
Either way, Moose is not going to ask questions, of course. A little sticky ice there. Now Maddox Rearick regains. Soft dump through neutral ice. Somebody got a piece of it, so there's no ice. RMU has it. Dumps it back down. Here's Seitz back to collect. Pushing it around. Filson is met there on the half wall. Maddox Rearick down below the goal line. Off the boards for Tudich. Fighting for it right in front of us. 4 players in the scrum. Now it is loose into neutral ice. It's a backhander by Dobransky. Trying to clear the zone, and they do. Loza takes a little hit, but it's into the zone. Tudich takes a shot blocked by Dobransky in the lane. A soft dump back out to neutral ice. Here's Seitz.
See if they can set something up here.
Tried to get it in the zone with Lowe's tip, but it was just held there at the blue line by the Colonials. Now it's out to neutral ice again. Burkett has it. Trying to flip it around. He was trying to spring Tudich on that far side. From the logo, Filson with a soft feed to Loza. Now they have a little speed. Trying to spring Tudich with that lead pass. Sights to the loose puck. One-time try, blocked again. Here's Filson, holds the zone. Right to Loza's stick, and he tried to stick handle a little bit around that defenseman.
Looked like he was going to try and get a one-timer off of that, which he was working on pre-game.
Loza back into the zone. Adopting that grinding ability from the fourth line. Now they're heading off and swapping with some fourth liners. So we will get an ice. So there's Burkett that wins the foot race with 16:12 to go here in the second period.
Overall, great movement around. I think mainly so far the defense has been circling and rotating pretty well. Notably, I saw when Seitz had crashed on that puck, Filson came back and filled his spot, and that's just quintessential play right there.
Puck that stayed on the ice by Fairman's stick. Couple of deflections, almost found the back. Of course, Colburn got a toe on it. There's Solomon feeding Fairman. Fairman got that little jolt of energy and took a shot but missed wide.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of open ice for Fairman.
Dump in by RMU. Schmelzer wins the foot race and a little bit of action after the whistle. Schmelzer did not take too kindly of it. We'll head back down to RMU's end. 15:46 remaining in the second period. Schmelzer and Fairman staying out there for that defensive core. It's met with the first line of forwards. That's Miller, Hoffman, and Rierick. Tied up there at the face-off dot. Coming away with it was Hoffman.
Oh, great work by Fairman to keep it in.
Holds the zone. Here's Miller from the dot all alone. Takes a shot. Glove saved by Colburn. Still rebound. Cross-ice feed. Rierick was unable to find the back. IUP has control though still.
Everybody, I mean, I saw fans up over to the right here already cheering. They thought that was going to be a for sure goal, but to no avail.
IUP, it's a little bit of energy. Fairman stick handling around. Miller down in the near corner. Spins off of his man, and then a little tip by Hoffman. Frozen by Colburn.
Absolutely terrific work from that line, that fresh line that came out.
It's Fairman and Passanante getting into it a little bit after the whistle.
Yeah.
I am aware that they are friends off of the ice as well. So, of course, they could just be sharing some friendly exclaims. We'll never know, though.
Oh, a close try there from Hoffman.
RMU leaving the zone with some speed. They went through in on the right side. Another lead pass right off of Paremba's stick to the near corner. Great block there by Hunter Fairman. Now Jace Rierick just going to step and go. So he avoids the hit, but does jar the puck loose. Hoffman cross-ice feed, one-timer by Rierick, missed wide.
Great opportunity there, just, yeah, like you said, just wide. Don't get much closer than that.
Here's Soy from his own end. Loses control slightly, but still gets it up ice. Malloy trying to cut that passing angle off. Back out to neutral ice. Here's Soy from Maddox Rierick. Back to Soy. Soy dancing around, evading. Maddox Rierick looking up ice. Cross ice for Malloy. So he does not get a piece of it. So it will be an ice. 14 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the second period. We'll head back down to IUP's defensive zone. It's going to be Johnson taking this draw. Going up against Blevins at the dot. Johnson with that win as he cycles it all the way around, but Rorick's there. Back to Blevins. One-time try by Rorick. Malloy just trying to spring it for Johnston. Soy has it. Stretch pass from Malloy. He does get a piece, no icing. Medved collects. Backhanding it down for Ragno. Jordan Adams gets the loose puck. Trying to center it for Johnson, but Schmidt was there.
Nice hit by Adams, my goodness. He laid the shoulder down on that.
From the point, Burkett cycles it down low. Malloy from the goal line. Looking over his options, and it's blocked in the lane there by Rorick. Now he's coming up with some speed. There's almost a costly mistake there by Harvey during his back skate. Still a couple of rebound shots. But RMU still has control, and it does leave the zone, but it's a delayed penalty for IUP. So now they get the touch. The Hawks are heading back to the penalty box for their second opportunity on the penalty kill here tonight.
We'll see who's going. Adams again. It's going to be his second on the night. And we'll see what the official call is. And he's not happy.
Just got a little tangled up reaching for the puck there. I think it's either going to be a trip or a hook, but again, like you said, we'll wait in here for the official call. Other way, IUP shorthanded. Here's Miller at the dot, and he wins it straight back, but our RMU gains control. There's Finnegan at the point, cross ice for Rorick, and he just goes bar down. 8 seconds into the power play, and RMU's got the lead.
Yeah, and that's just brutal. I mean, I don't think Adams feels he deserved that penalty as he's still shaking his head. But right now we have a 2-1 game, and RMU's in the lead right now. The Hawks got to piece it together and start having a little bit of fire underneath of them.
There's a reason Rorick is the top scorer for RMU. He just notched his 11th goal of the season.
It was a beautiful shot, yeah. Bar down, I mean, can't ask for much better if you're RMU.
It's the best possible placement he could have had against Paremba. Of course, he made it, and they got the lead here. 12 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second period. Like you said, IUP gonna have to change something up. Start finding the back of the net. We saw that puck up into the rafters out of play. We'll see a neutral ice draw now. 12:37 remain. Here's Loza at the dot. He wins it straight into the zone. Goes all the way back behind the RMU goal line. Soy at the point. He shuffles one in. No deflection. A pad saved by Colburn. Mishandled puck. Now RMU has it. Soy disrupting the try. Loza backhands for Filson at the center line. All the way back in IUP's end. RMU going to get somewhat of a change. Maddox Rearick starting the rush. Backhands it forward for Filson. Filson, hard cross-ice feed for Tudic.
Great reception by
Tudic takes the shot, and it was a shoulder save by Colburn. Now here on the near side, Maddox Rearick dancing in. He rips a shot. Another shoulder save by Colburn. The rebound collected all the way out in the neutral ice by Seitz. He's trying to keep the energies. He just turns it right back into the zone. The clear by RMU by Dobransky does go out of play.
And that right there that we just saw for the past 2 minutes, well, not 2 minutes, 1 minute, is exactly what we need to see the rest of this game from the Hawks, that aggression and that looking to take those risky passes, because they're a good enough team to recover from a mistake or a turnover. So they need to start taking the high-risk opportunities, cross ice and long passes, setting guys up in the offensive end.
There's Miller right off the draw. Cross ice pass for Miola, and he rings it off of the post. Miola had a lot of open net to work with. Certainly want that opportunity back. Another couple tries for Miola. Solomon down low. Fumbling puck. Just pushed back behind the goal line. Miola gets it up for Gray. He shoots another one, blocked in the lane by RMU. A soft dump to neutral ice. With some speed, here's Blevins on the right wing. Backhand one-time try. Blocked in the lane by Gray. Now Paremba holds the post. A couple of high-energy tries for both squads there in just that last 15 seconds.
And that was amazing work by Burkett down low as that puck kind of found its way over to the left post, and there was an RMU player sitting over there. Burkett did a great job of shielding him off and tying him up so he couldn't get to the puck and make a shot.
There's a draw in IUP's end. Fairman with a soft dump out, and it finds the blade of Hoffman's stick for an opportunity. He crosses it for Rearick, easy. Just like that, we're all tied up at 2.
And that's exactly what you need right there. that's just, I mean, you learn that from junior high. Learning to do little 2-on-1s, 2-on-0s, as you see here. I mean, a little bit of luck as it makes its way literally right into the palms of him. And yeah, beautiful cross ice to Rierick. 2-on-0 chance, not much the netminder for RMU can do. Tied up here with 11 minutes to go.
Good teams like the Crimson Hawks certainly do not let good opportunities like that go down the drain. An easy 2-on-1 converts to a goal. We're knotted up at 2. Here's RMU restarting their rush. Of course, that was Jace Rierick from Caleb Hoffman. Great little lofted pass by Fairman in his own end as well to get the secondary assist on that goal. Here's another opportunity for this line. Miller into the zone. He takes a shot, but it was blocked there in the lane by Finnegan. Now Spears is there to the loose puck, throws it off of the boards for LaQuatra. Jace Rierick backhands it to some empty ice, but RMU has it again. LaQuatra trying to spring Rorick the other way, that's Passanante. Here's Adams, throwing it off the boards for Jace Rierick. Pass for Miller, goes wayward. Braddock's taken hard into the glass. Fighting for it right in front of IUP's bench. Now in front of the penalty box, Schmelzer. Just a grown man, but here's a 2-on-1 for RMU. There's a cross-ice pass, another try. Backhand somehow stays out. A great back check by Adams.
And Moose actually out of desperation there, threw his stick hoping to get a piece of the puck.
Here's an opportunity for IUP. Adams takes his shot. Because now there is a delayed penalty, I believe, against the Crimson Hawks. But like you said, there was a desperation play by Paremba, as now he's handing Fairman his stick back as he got his big paddle. Yeah, just an amazing opportunity snuffed out there by the Hawks.
Yeah, and I think Schmelzer just had the better of him, taken advantage of. I mean, he's usually a cool-headed guy, and I think they've been getting to him a little bit with chirping so far tonight, and he retaliated, and now he's paying the price for it for the next 2 minutes while the Hawks killed us off.
Like you said, another opportunity on the penalty kill. RMU did capitalize on their last power play opportunity. Pretty early into the power play, I might add. Now here's RMU from the point. Up to Finnegan. Now left wing cross ice feed, so I got a piece of it to push it back. Rorick on the right wing, back to Finnegan. Here's Ragno, he takes a shot, but it misses wide off of Malloy's stick. Now a fumbling puck all the way out to neutral ice. Just 25 seconds already out. RMU, the entry on the left side. Here's Rorick, slows it up on the half wall. Gives it up to Finnegan at the point. He rips one through, no deflection, and a hit off of Paremba's pad. Now IUP gets the clear. Great save there by Paremba with a lot of traffic in front. Somehow that puck did not hit anything. Now here's another try. There's Moran taking a shot. Pad save. Somehow.
What a save. Oh my goodness. Out. I mean, that puck literally popped up and went right over his shoulder.
It looked like it was about to roll over that goal line. Some help from his defenseman. Able to keep it out. Either way, score stands, 1:10 still to go on the penalty kill. So RMU from the goal line, Rorick trying to feed it through. Fairman is able to get a piece. Down below the goal line, centering, one-time try. Held there in the net off of its pegs. Paremba just hit that post hard. Stopped the try there by Moran. Here's Moran taking this face-off against Miller. 57 seconds left on the power play. Finnegan gets the loose puck, trying to feed it there on the right wing, and they do get it across. Miller gets a piece, and then a one-time try by Ragno. Finnegan at the point. He dances it in, feeds it to the right wing for Rorick. Rorick on the half wall, dancing around, backhands it back for Finnegan at the point. He takes one, feeds it to the left side. Now down low. Rorick on the half wall again, down low for Chiaramonte. Down low, a couple of tries, rebound, does find the back. RMU, another lead and another power play goal That was Corbin Ragno with his second of the evening to give RMU the lead.
Yeah, and I think the Crimson Hawks are kind of taken back. I mean, you and I talked about it off air, Josh. It's just they seem a little complacent tonight. This is a team that on paper and with how they've played so far this year, should be running over. They should be stampeding over RMU, and so far it just seems that they've been playing down to their level, so to speak. So the Crimson Hawks really need to get it together and start talking and push the pace. They can't let RMU dictate how the pace of play is going about in this game.
Like you said, on paper, IUP should have this game in the bag. Of course, RMU 2-2 in conference play, 5-10-1, their regular season record. IUP's overall record and conference record definitely stack up bigger than RMU's. Of course, RMU has the 1-goal lead. You can only dictate what's happening in this game. So certainly IUP's got to change something up, and it is a delayed penalty for RMU.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. They do look a little like Duquesne out there. But that's a blessing coming off that fresh goal. Not only will it give a big morale boost for the team if they're able to capitalize here on this power play, but also Moose and net. Tying that up will give him a little bit of an ease of mind, and now he can buckle down and say no more.
We'll see if IUP will capitalize on this power play. The first unit out there, it's Rierick, Miller, Tudich, Fairman, and Malloy. See if they can tie it up. A face-off win kept in on the blue line by Jace Rierick. He'll feed it softly for Fairman. He'll toe the blue line. Dance it all the way in, down low for Rierick, cross ice. Just like that, with some ease, he finds Miller to direct it in. It's all tied up.
And I think I could see that setting up from a mile away. Once Rierick was able to get it to Fairman, you'll see here, Rierick got it to Fairman, and Fairman brought it down. It was just setting up beautifully there. Rierick was able to get it to Miller, who was standing right in front of the net. All he had to do was literally just chip it up over. And some good three-point passing there. Like a Chicago Bulls triangle they had going on the left side.
A lot of chemistry there on that first power play unit. That is.
Oh, Filson with a big hit onto the side.
I'm saying that is Miller's 12th goal of the year. Excuse me, his 18th goal. I was looking at it wrong. There's Lozo ripping it through. That one almost find the back, but Kohlberg got his pads down quick enough. All the way back down into RMU's end. 6:55 remaining here in the second period.
And Fairman's going to switch out for Seitz, or not Seitz, but Soy.
There's RMU the other way. A little soft dump in. IUP collects the loose puck in front of the wall here. Cycled down low by Blevins. On the other side, Rower gets it on the right wing. Kept in by Finnegan at the blue line. Seitz fighting for it down low. Here comes Filson to aid as well. Shot out of nowhere, almost found that back post. It was off the stick of Ragno. Now again from the half wall, down low. There's Blevins cycling it up high. Shot in, no deflection, and kick saved by Paremba. Loza with a hard clear out, held in by Finnegan. He'll dump it right back in. Roerick throws one for that right post, but an easy glove save by Paremba.
Hawks are still giving the Colonials here a lot of space when they have the puck. I'd like to see some guys crashing in on whoever has the puck carrier or the shooter, whoever's about to take a shot. I'd just like to see a little bit of urgency and crashing on that guy, making him make a decision instead of giving him some time to wait.
A lot of empty ice and a lot of zone time for RMU. But now they leave the zone. Trying to spring Malloy was Johnston. But RMU's there. Finnegan cycles it up high. Adams trying to pick it away. Here's Rierick in neutral ice. He'll cycle it hard down low. Adams is the last man to tag up. Now they will enter in on the forecheck. Down in the near corner, disrupting. Malloy has control. He'll dump it down low for Adams. Back to Malloy. Back to Adams. Adams trying to center it, and he does. One-time try by Johnson. Stick save by Colburn. Malloy down low again. Centering feed for Johnson. The hand goes up. A delayed penalty against RMU. It's now Moose just got to the bench, and he will have to head back, and IUP will head back on the power play.
And the Colonials are going to have to do some major thinking in this next 10 seconds before this face-off, because, I mean, IUP was able to get one face-off win, pass it around between 3 guys, and absolutely just dismember their 4 men out there. So we'll see how they go about this penalty kill and how IUP goes about their power play as well.
We're taking Tyler Radeye for the cross check. There's Fairman right off the face-off. He dances it down in the slot, takes a low angle shot, and he breaks another stick. It's his second broken stick of the evening, an expensive night for Fairman. Heads right to the bench and grabs another one. Down low, Miller tries to tuck it in. Shuffling through, and the net is off its pegs. Fairman still throwing his hands up in frustration as he's down quite a couple $100 tonight, 2 sticks, as he's still arguing with the officials as the cross check he was subject to. Or excuse me, the slash he was subject to.
Yeah, and I don't blame him at all. I mean, a couple hundred is generous with the sticks that these guys use. We're talking he's down about $600.
Yeah,
so I don't
probably more than that.
I don't blame him one bit for being absolutely heated. I mean, these guys don't get him for free. So
there's Malloy right off the draw. Softly feeds it for Fairman. Fairman feeds it down low to Miller. Miller met with a couple of Colonials. Gets rid of it though. Tudich down below the goal line. Gives it up for Miller. Miller up high for Fairman. Stays patient and circles it around. Showing off some stick ability, some skating ability. Here's Malloy at the right wing now. On the half wall, looking over his options. Gives it for Miller down below the goal line. Feeds it up high again for Fairman at the point. He'll dance it in a couple times. One-time try there by Tudich. Great save by Colburn.
Yeah, that's a great look for Tudich. I love Miller and Tudich's ability to work the middle of the zone there in that slot and kind of just find a way to get open in some little area.
Yeah, they're sneaky skaters that are able to just find those little pockets, little slots where they can get a quick shot off. Of course, Jason Rearick found Tudich there on that one-touch pass for the one-timer. That's a little bit of alliteration. Another shot in by Fairman at the point, stopped by Colburn. 55 seconds remain here on the power play. 4:12 remain in the second period. Still tied up at 3. 26-23 on the shot counter in favor of the Hawks.
As Fairman heads off the ice, handed his, I think that's Harvey's stick right back to him.
Maddox Rearick over to Schmelzer. Schmelzer rips one. A couple deflections, pushed it behind the net. Johnston advances it back to Schmelzer. 40 seconds left on the power play. Maddox Rearick at the point. One-timer by Schmelzer.
Oh, my
and scores. Just caught me off guard. As wow. Power play goal, IUP takes the lead. We'll see if we can get that rip by Schmelzer.
I mean, wow, bottle popper.
Yeah. Just left them all alone over there on the face-off dot. Just found it and found the lead. 3:52 remain here in the second period. IUP has a little bit of a cushion, see if they can build on it.
I was feeling good about Schmelzer in this game offensively. He's had so far a couple of tries bringing the puck from blue line to blue line. So I think he was due with the amount of good shots he was able to put on net so far tonight.
Right off the draw, RMU has it now. IUP still active with the sticks. Maddox Rearick with the main assist. Johnston with the secondary. Here's Harvey at the point, pushes it back deeper for Hoffman again. He's hit into that corner. Harvey with a deflection by Rearick, just pushed it wide. Good ice vision by those two. Harvey just kept it on the ice and waited for Rearick's stick to get there. Out to neutral ice, and it does clear the line, just barely. RMU does get the offsides call as soft little touch leaving the zone. We'll see neutral ice draw with 3:09 remaining here in the second period.
Boys are looking good so far here, Josh. I'm excited to see what this line can do. This is one of those lines that has the chance to be super productive in a game. So I'm waiting for that little breakout chance with a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2, 2-on-1, any type of thing like that with this line.
There's RMU in their own end. Maddox Rear tried to hold the zone, but was unable to get it. RMU does win the foot race. Paremba getting aggressive, playing it out of his crease as well. There's Maddox Rear on his own goal line. Just letting the pattern roll out. RMU going to get somewhat of a change. Off the boards, down into that far corner. Adams is the first one there. He throws the brakes on center. It's Malloy, hits off the iron.
Man.
There's Soy at the point. Another shot, no deflection, and a glove save by Colburn.
Malloy almost caught him sliding to that next post.
Malloy definitely wants that chance back. He just missed it. You could hear the ding from up here. 2:24 remain here in the second period. See if the Hawks can capitalize with just a little time left. Adams glues his man to the wall. A loose puck being fought for in that corner. RMU comes away with it. Here's Rad-Eye feeding it forward. Up and out of play into IUP's bench.
Our buddy Matt over there ducking for cover, trying to get some pictures of the squad.
Social media crews got to stay on their toes, of course. To the right of Colburn, this faceoff is won by IUP. A turnaround shot by Malloy rides high. Soy feeding Johnson on the goal line, all the way up to the point for Malloy. Malloy rips one, catches a lot of traffic, and RMU coming away with it. Maddox Rear, the first one back with 1:50 left. Spins it off the backboard for Soy. Soy's got a little bit of pressure on him. He still remains control, and then Maddox Rear comes to help out. RMU grabs control, and a great stick by Maddox Rear just to block that passing lane. And here's Dobransky feeding it for Rad-Eye. Dobransky collects the loose puck. Forward for Rorick. Of course, not without some pressure from IUP. Filson's stick jarred it loose. All the way through neutral ice, back to Dobransky's stick, over to Rad-Eye. Rad-Eye off the boards for Moran. And into the zone goes Crivelli. They are offsides. And here's RMU's try. Rorick. A soft touch getting it into the zone, but it's immediately turned around by Fairman. Loza and Tudich combined for a little sandwich hit. Right to RMU's bench. 52 seconds left in the period. Tudich with a great stick to just jar that opportunity all the way into RMU's bench off of a tussle cap, it looked like over there. So it's out of play, and we'll see another neutral ice face-off, I believe. No, it will stay in IUP's end. 46 seconds left. Face-off tied up by Loza, collecting it is Schmelzer. 40 seconds left. Loza exits the zone and feeds Tudich to enter the zone. Filson just tying his man up and getting that inside move.
Oh, nice hit by Tudich.
The loose puck is gathered by Schmelzer. It's a little stand-up hit there by 43. Coming into the zone now, Tudich trying to collect it. Look like bumper cars, Loza and Tudich.
15 seconds left.
Couple of deflections and a save by Colburn. Like you said, 15.2 on the official game clock here in the arena. See if IUP can get a couple of quick shots off before they head to the locker room for the second intermission. It's the big dogs out there. That being Miller, Rearick, and Malloy, the forwards, backed by Schmelzer and Fairman. Again, active on the forecheck. There's RMU with a chance, but a great stick by Rearick to jar it loose. There's Miller in his own end. He'll softly backhand it for Schmelzer, as that will be the remainder of this period expiring as Crimson Hawks have the goal lead.
Yeah, pretty productive period on both sides. But I think the Crimson Hawks, they might have been listening to us up here talking about how they're getting complacent and needing to kick it into another gear, because that's exactly what they did. And we'll see if they can stay in that that same gear as well. I think they're going to need to just to push ahead and get some insurance goals, and then they can skate around and kind of be a little bit more cautious and conservative. But right now they need to push the pace.
Of course, IUP looking for some clean conference points as they head into the second intermission and will come back out for the third and hopes to walk away with a win here against the Colonials. But of course, we'll be back after the second intermission for the IUP Hockey Network. My name is Josh Yates. With me, Alex Duffalo. We'll be back with the third. IUP and RMU, the Hawks have a 1-goal lead heading into the third period of play here. Of course, you guys are watching the IUP Hockey Network. My name is Josh Yates, with me Alex Duffalo, as we get ready for puck drop here in the third period. See if IUP can continue to apply a little bit of pressure here on the Colonials and maybe boost their lead by a couple.
Yeah, just stay aggressive, stay on top of the puck, and be the go-getters pretty much the rest of this period.
Of course, the intermission switching sides, now IUP attacking from right to left and RMU attacking from left to right. Tie up between Miller and Blevins there in neutral ice. Cycled down into IUP's end. Now here's Schmelzer cycling it forward for Hoffman. He hits Miller. Miller enters on the left side, a little stick trick to get around him, and Finnegan was the first one there to poke it away. Schmelzer fires one from the blue line. Still a loose puck. Schmelzer scored already tonight. There's a cross-ice backdoor feed by Miller, but nobody was there to collect. Adams holding the zone. RMU trying to clear. IUP just being pests.
Yeah, they're having a heck of a time.
There's Miller feeding Adams into the zone. Adams on the half wall, slows it up. He takes a shot, and there's a stick save there by Colburn. Still, RMU unable to exit the zone. Here's Finnegan. Loses the puck briefly. Johnson on his backhand. So he takes it in and just springs it forward a little bit, but Colburn swiped it away. Malloy tying it up out into neutral ice. Now Finnegan goes between the legs for Rat-Eye. Now RMU dumping it down low. There's Maddox Rearick, the first one there, and he plays catch with Soy. It's tied up here in the near corner. Now over to the far corner. Malloy, the great stick to poke it loose. RMU still has control. They shuffle one behind the net. Soy swipes it around for Maddox Rearick, off the boards for Johnston, but again, RMU has it.
What a
around.
play.
Just a great show of hockey IQ there, knowing that he was going to push it around on that spin move, and he just jabbed his stick over, Maddox Rearick that is, and stopped the rush there. There's Tudich cycling it in to the zone. Malloy also got tied up with a man there in center ice. Loza tried to feed Tudich there in the slot.
Prime time opportunity right there.
RMU the other way, but it's held up there by IUP. Loza able to tie it up. Tudich takes a shot and a glove save by Colburn. 7:26 remaining here in the third period. A couple of good tries by both squads. IUP looking like they're starting to ramp up their offense.
Yeah, and that was just a good idea by Tudich. He didn't really have anybody else but himself up there, and why not just throw it on net, make him freeze the puck, and get a face-off?
Tied up there by Loza, who does lose the face-off. Sights off the boards for Tudich. RMU has control, though. Loza into the zone on the right side. Takes a shot from the right wing. Shoulder save by Colburn. There's RMU. Stretch feed, but Sights' blade is there. Just bats it for Tudich. Tudich rims it around the backside. Colburn's unable to stop it. Filson, the first one there. He's glued hard into the near corner. Kicks it out. Couple of bodies in there. Tudich picking it away. Down below the goal line. Feeds it all the way across for Burkett. Burkett up high. Fires one in, and a deflection by Gray pushed it away. Up to Bransky down low. Filson jabbing at it. Now it comes loose. There's LaQuarta.
Oh, what a play by Filson.
Filson in the slots, tripped up, no call. Gray there to aid as well. The loose puck. Filson was in his back skate, was unable to turn it around quickly, but here's RMU the other way. The Colonials are going to get a change. Filson to the loose puck in neutral ice. Has it on his white twig, a toe drag around on the right wing, has it on his backhand, still tangled up. Now down below the goal line. Gray has a run in down low as well. There's Spears with a dump in and a hit by Fairman into IUP's bench. Schmelzer starting the rush, looking to capitalize on the line change. Still stick handling through. 43 takes a shot and a pad save by Colburn. Now here's Finnegan in his own end. Solomon hits his man into the glass. Now here's Cole Berg. I was talking with Alex off air. There's a Trevor Colberg, and then, of course, in net, Patrick Colburn. So I apologize for any mix-ups I've had throughout the game.
Yeah, it's just cruel on RMU's recruiting part there.
It's been a little bit of a tougher game to call, of course, on the roster side of things. Either way, here's Schmelzer. From his own end, feeding Miola at the center logo. They enter in. There's Solomon. Loses control, hits Miola on the goal line. Has it down below, looking for some help.
I almost thought Mio was going to go for that backhand opportunity.
Here's Fairman in the slot with some speed. Goal line, low angle shot, misses wide. Here's Maddox Rearick from the point. Cycles it for Miola. He dances it right in the middle, takes a shot, shoulder save. Miller there to collect. Blue paint fumbling puck. Somehow it stays out. Rearick turns it around, misses wide.
Wow, that's some great defense by RMU to kind of crowd that line.
Here's Miller feeding Rearick in the slot. There's Maddox Rearick holding it on the blue line. Turning it for Miller. Miller in the slot. A lot of ice to work with. Turns it for Jace Rearick. He collects the loose puck at the goal line. He'll just dance around the top of the zone. Take it all the way down low again. Short angle shot. Hits the outside of the net. In close. RMU finally gets control and gets a clear. As that was just an amazing show of defense by Colburn and his defensemen to somehow keep that puck out of the net.
Yeah, very impressive.
There's IUP. Soy cutting through defensemen. I should say cutting through forwards. He is the defenseman there. There's Hoffman into the right side. He slips a hit. Miller on the right wing. Crosses it for Jace Rearick. Has it still, and a glove save by Colburn. As Rearick took a hard fall. He's holding the back of his head. I think he hit his head off the ice. That is not a good sign.
Yeah, that's not good. I've been there before. It feels like a 2x4 just smacked you in the back of the head. It's a sickening feeling. Hopefully he's all right and able to shake it off. But they do have to be aware that those concussions can kind of creep up. You can't really in the first 5 minutes say, oh yeah, you're good. I'm sending you back out.
Right. Well, of course, we know Hunter Fairman was dealing with a concussion or head injury last week. I think it's in the equipment of Rorick, that shot from Burkett.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like you were saying, injuries are just a part of this game. Rearick was able to get up on his own account, so it's always a good sign. We'll see if he does come back out.
Yeah, he wasn't shaky at all either, so really good signs.
Yeah. He was just off balance trying to fight for that loose puck and got tripped up. By the way, IUP is trying to maintain that pressure that Rearick did have. Adams comes crashing into the glass there. 3 bodies in the scrum. Johnson trying to pick it away. Gets glued to the kick.
Johnson meticulously trying to grab that puck out of there.
And finally he comes away with it. He feeds Burkett up at the point. Reversing it back down low again. Here's Adams down below the goal line to Malloy. Short angle shot in the blue paint. And RMU's defensemen were there to collect it and clear.
Oh, Malloy was almost able to sneak it through that little 5-hole window.
Yeah, it was a great shot there by Malloy. We saw Filson take that shot earlier in the first period.
Yeah, except he roofed it.
Yeah. Here's Seitz, trying to center the net well off of its pegs. Trying to cross it there for Burkett. 2 defensemen getting active there on the offensive.
Yeah, lots of smiles between them. Yeah. They don't get to have a shot at that very often. Especially Burkett and Seitz. They're pretty defensive-minded defensemen, so it's very cool to see them get an offensive chance every now and again. We get a switch out with Schmelzer and Fairman heading to the back there.
13 minutes left here in the third period, and here's a rush for Rorick. Trying to spring Ragno the other way, the 2 top scorers for RMU. But they were hung up there by Schmelzer and Fairman. They do have control below the goal line, center and feed. A lot of Hawks sticks there to block the lane. Now they're centering. There was Paremba's stick that swiped it away. Here's Spears up high for Finnegan. He fires one in and misses wide. That was Dobransky, I apologize. And here's Fairman. A soft dump somehow avoids the rafters. He's played here plenty of times. Knows well enough how to keep it low, but it is nice.
He almost perfectly dumped that to where it didn't reach that back end, and there would have been no icing. That would have been
almost stopped perfectly.
Yeah, it would have been wonderful. Just like witnessing a perfect punt.
Yeah.
Happens very rarely, but when it does, it's very very cool to see.
Face-off won by RMU, but Filson came and disrupt early. He swiped it to some neutral ice, and he was stood up there And center ice by Friel. Official had to dodge that puck on the dump. Schmelzer taking to the back wall. Fairman trying to get the clear. One fired in, a couple deflections, but it was a stick save by Paremba.
Oh, Tudic stood his man up there in the middle of the ice.
Filson firing one from neutral ice. So he's going to get off of the ice now. Tudic hits his man as well. There's RMU's try going the other way. Here's Passanante entering the zone on the right side. Looking for some reinforcements, centers it, but was unable to catch it cleanly. Fairman glues him to the back wall. Schmelzer now coming away with it. A little soft dump, see if he can hit Miola, and he does. A little too much mustard. They still enter the zone. Miola down low, center feed for Gray. Gray unable to place it where he wanted to, and it was a good save by Colburn. Gray looking skyward after that opportunity.
Yeah, and Gray's one of those guys that you just expect to kind of play make and help the other guys get a goal. But when he gets a chance like that, it's pretty special. Unfortunate it didn't find the back of the net, but I'm sure if he keeps playing like that, he'll eventually get one to go through.
Face off one straight back by RMU, but Solomon's just disrupting. Miola going to join the efforts now as well. RMU trying to exit the zone, and they do. That's Spears cutting up the left side. Soy gets the inside, has it on that back corner. They're trying to leave the zone. Here's Solomon coming up the right side. Now big hip check. Wow, what a booming hit as Solomon is slow to get up, and they blow the whistle. That's a big defenseman there in Andrew Finnegan. So he just lined him up right there, right in front of his own bench. Yeah. Solomon does head off the ice to his bench now.
Completely clean hit too. I mean, that's just hockey right there. And Solomon knows he's laid a few on some guys that have been bone-crushing hits. So sucks to see him at the end of one, but we've seen him time and time again on the other end.
See Hoffman take a spill there and lose an edge trying to collect that puck as well. So wait and see if Solomon heads back out onto the ice after that big hit from Finnegan. So they will call the high stick there. Trying to hold the zone with Passanante. 10:38 remaining in the third period. RMU starting to feel the pressure of the home crowd here at S&T Bank. Pretty full for, a Friday game before Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, especially before break.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I would say an average crowd that we've seen the past month of play as we've had this little home stretch.
They're certainly helping the boys out on the ice, giving them a little energy when they need it.
Yeah, and you can see it after they score. They turn to somebody they know in the crowd and usually get a little hyped up.
Maddox Rearick just speeding around the zone. He fires one from the point, and Jace Rearick tries to collect, still fumbling, rebound, score! A lot of chaos from that top line, and IUP gets an insurance goal.
And I think there's some confusion amongst Miller and Hoffman as to whose stick was on the puck, as we'll see the replay here. Nice little shot in by Rearick and a battle up front. Can't really tell from the replay either. We'll wait and see here. I was looking down at the replay, so I didn't see who they chose to send it at the front of the line for the handshake, but we'll hear the announcer give the official call here in just a sec.
Just a lot of chaotic energy there from the Hawks. They like to swarm that crease, and they did just that. Like you said, it was Hoffman, Rearick, and Miller all involved in that stabbing at the loose puck. So they're going to give Shane Miller the goal credit, which really I didn't think he was even in the mix as much as Rearick and Hoffman were, of course.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm sure Miller will gladly take an extra tally on his point.
Yeah, he's not going to say no
for the
to that.
year, of course. That opportunity, of course, not starting without his brother, just tomahawking around the zone and fired one from the point to, of course, get the puck in that opportunity.
Yeah.
Either way, IUP's got a little bit of leverage now. See if RMU can respond. They're swiping at it in close. Couple of rebound shots. Does come loose, and then a one-time try. A bad save by Paremba.
Yeah, great work by Moose to stay composed in the net with all that chaos going on.
Gray's fighting down low as well. Excuse me, that's Harvey. RMU turnaround shot. Of course, Paremba hits that peg hard and knocks the net off its pegs. 9:10 remaining.
For the 4th time tonight, might I add.
Yeah, he's going to have to start bringing his own pegs.
Yeah, he's going to have to get like 10-foot deep ones and put them through the
Yeah,
concrete of the S&T Bank, and they're going to be Moose's pegs.
Yep. I'll have to trademark it, that. Moose's pegs. Either way, down low. Here's RMU in their own end. Fighting for it on that half wall over there. Harvey jabbing at it. A loose puck collected by Burkett.
Some great communication over there. I was able to hear him loud and clear all the way up here.
Now Malloy enters the zone. A little bit of pep to his step, but he's glued to the glass. There's Adams down at the goal line, stick handling. Avoids a couple of hits there, but Malloy again. Feeds it to Johnson in close, backhands it. He thought Fairman was cutting to that point. It's Fairman again in neutral ice, 8:30 remaining. Feeds it to his partner. Here's Schmelzer looking up by a stretch pass for Tudich. He does get into the zone. Colburn out of his net to play it. There's Chiramonte fighting along with Loza. Loza gets the loose puck, centers it for Tudich, but was in his skates. Out to neutral ice, a foot race. Fairman and Moran. Fairman's the first one there, turns it around to neutral ice. RMU in the midst of a change. They're off sides as well. A big hit there by Tudich, sort of, as well. As he put Passanante into IUP's bench. There's Fairman. Soft, lofted pass all the way through neutral ice to RMU's end. Loza another one into the rafters. On the clear, so 7:38 remain here in the third period. I have to add, while we have a second as well, the Movember Mustache Challenge still is going on here at S&T Bank. If you have a chance to come on down, vote for your favorite player and see who has the best little lip carpet, they like to call it, a little bit of mustache up top. You can see
there's a lot of good candidates.
There are. My vote's still going to be Donovan. He's out of the game tonight, but he's got a killer mustache.
It screams 70s, Josh.
Yeah. I'm always going to be on board for Donovan's mustache. So come on down and go ahead and donate to your favorite mustache. Of course, all the proceeds will be donated to the PA Veterans Fund. So it's some guys growing mustache for a good cause. Of course, you can't complain with that. Here's RMU trying to start their rush. Maddox Rearick has him glued to that corner board. Gray getting involved as well, using his body to clear a little space. Now the puck comes loose down below the goal line. Centering feed, Soy gets a piece of it. It's back to his blade. Now a point shot. Another good block. Solomon's back on the ice. He's fighting there, hands it off for Miola all alone. He loses control of the puck. He's tripped up, no call. So there's a lot of commotion between the IUP bench and the officials, as they thought Miola should have been, excuse me, I should say they should have called a penalty, Miola being subject to that call. As it looks like they're sending Miola to the bench. The penalty bench, I should say. I think he was just getting a little bit too vocal. The officials weren't having it. So Miola will sit, and IUP will be back on the penalty kill.
Yeah, and that's just a penalty they can't afford. Yeah, you can be upset, you can voice your opinion, but we see it time and time again, not just hockey, but virtually any sport with a referee. They will only take so much vocalization from you before they penalize you, and I think that's just one of those cases. Nonetheless, we're going to see a penalty kill again from the Hawks and see if they can kill off this next 2 minutes and come back a little bit fresh.
2 of the 3 goals that RMU currently holds were on the power play. We'll see if they can capitalize again. Roerick on the right wing crosses it, but Miller got a piece. Here's a shorthanded opportunity. Miller and Hoffman on their horse. Miller enters the zone trying to feed Hoffman, but he's tied up.
And
their hand goes up. So it will be a delayed penalty. Hoffman takes a spill late as well. They're going to take Roerick for a hook.
Yeah, and he was, I think, just caught off by Hoffman's speed coming through the middle of the zone there. Just kind of gazing over at Miller as he's bringing up the puck, and you see Hoffman come flying by. You just got to try everything you can to keep him from getting into an open spot, because, I mean, he's like a little mice or mouse. You just scooting everywhere. You look one direction, he's there, and then 5 seconds later, he's in a different spot, and you can't keep track of him.
He's got that grinder mentality. He's been playing some top-line minutes, of course, with Miller and Rarick as of recently.
And filling that role nicely, yeah.
It's shown pretty productive for that line. Of course, they were the last goal for the Hawks, that line. But we will see 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute and 39 seconds, of course, barring a goal. Here's the face-off. Miller trying to win it straight back, but Finnegan has it in his own end. Finnegan looking up ice, backhands, but Rarick almost was able to keep it in. Here's Moran giving it up for Ragno. He takes a try, and he takes a spill into the net. Ragno, that is. So this time it wasn't Moose.
Yeah.
This time it was not Moose that knocked the net off. It was Ragno that slid into it. But we do have a whistle.
Moose going to skate off a little bit. I'm sure it hurt. I think he took a skate right to the leg pad, probably stretched out a muscle a little bit. You see him favoring that left side.
He's slow to get back to his crease. Fairman getting involved with some after whistle activity as they're sorting everything out. The officials break it up. Now we'll head to neutral ice for this faceoff. At the dot, Moran and Miller. Miller coming away with it. He hits Jace Rarick. IUP's bench getting very vocal. In these remaining 6 minutes of the game, IUP still got the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, the Colonials are going to have to really put together something in these next 5.5 minutes in order to even come close.
Bouncing puck rolled right over the blade of Schmelzer. Couple of hits down low, a lot of energy, a lot of screaming between benches. Both of these teams getting a little chippy. So they're going at it, loose puck down low. Schmelzer just shrugging a man off of him. That was Chiaramonte and Schmelzer going at it. 5:17 remain here in the third period. It's just been a lot of unprecedented play, I'll say. Schmelzer does head to the box for the Crimson Hawks.
And it looks like they're going to send the accomplice in that altercation as well.
Chiaramonte.
And I think that's all that Schmelzer was pleading the case for. He sat right back down as soon as he came back. RMU's player came out and go to the box as well. So,
of course, he was not going to be pleased if he was the only one sitting there. It was a two-way street between him and Chiaramonte, so they will both sit. And of course, those will be coincidental, so it should remain 4-on-4. Still Miola sitting in the box, along with Rorick for RMU for that hook to Hoffman. There's 48 seconds remaining on the Miola penalty, and 1 minute and 9 remaining on the Rorick penalty.
Yeah, it'll be nice for the Hawks to have just a smidge of time to be on a power play, maybe get a few shots off.
There's Johnson winning the draw straight back. Soy slides it to Maddox Rarick, his point partner. Back to Malloy up high. Malloy hits the open Soy on the half wall. Back to Malloy up high. Malloy dangling in and out. Takes it right up the middle. Has it on his backhand feed. And Soy was on the receiving end. It's a delayed penalty against IUP. They're going to take Soy for a slash.
And he's a little confused about that just because he was trying to chop at the puck and his guy was on the ground.
And in that exchange, there was a tie-up down low between Johnston and LaQuatra as they still go at it. So I think there's going to be 2 more men that head to the penalty box, as certainly the tensions have spilled over in this game between RMU and IUP, seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, and
it was a very calm game until about 2 minutes ago.
I think it's all fighting words at this point. There's not really anything physical going on per se that's causing a fight. Now it's just they're not liking the crap that's getting said to them, and they're not going to stand by idly either.
So we'll see who goes to the box, if anybody goes to the box. Of course, it's never a dull moment for the officials here at S&T Bank when the Crimson Hawks are playing. They're going to be active with the scorers tables over there, whether it's goals, whether it's penalties, whether it's both.
Yeah.
A lot of times it is a mix of both, but there's Soy now hopping the boards to head into the penalty box.
So we have Three in RMU's box
And three in the Hawks. Yeah.
Wow. Full house.
Yeah, you can say that penalty. The penalty bench is pretty warm. Of course, that Miola penalty will expire in 17 seconds. And then on the other side, it will be Rorick's penalty expiring in 38 seconds. Still, the officials talking with both captains to explain what happened, of course.
Yeah.
Miller in there hearing his side. It's Finnegan in there as well, hearing RMU's side. Just 4 minutes and 46 seconds do remain on the game clock. IUP still has the the 2-goal lead. I believe, again, those penalties will be coincidental. So it should still remain 4-on-4 if I am correct. Right now it is 4 Crimson Hawks and 3 Robert Morris Colonials. Now here comes the 4th. So it should remain 4-on-4. But again, we'll wait and see. We know just as much as you guys do at home.
A lot of deliberation still going on.
Hear the whistle now. Maybe soon getting back to some regular play. Well, I say regular, of course.
Yeah.
Both teams down a couple of men. So we'll be 4-on-4.
Nice little break for Moose, though.
Yeah, of course. A good little break for everybody, I guess. Here's IUP right off the rush. Tudich, open ice, tries to go 5-hole, and a big collision with Colburn. The net well off of its pegs. It was a good opportunity there for 10 and a good move, but again, an even better save by Colburn.
Yeah, I feel like that. Can't speak from experience just because I've only set skates on pond ice before, but I can imagine as a goaltender when somebody's coming in with a head of steam and they're right in the middle of the goal, it doesn't look like they're going to veer left or right, you kind of start to crap yourself a little bit. And he did a good job of just holding his ground and like taking the brunt of the hit from Tudich too after the shot.
So RMU winning the draw in their own end. Finnegan stretch pass on the other end, receiving it is Blevins. He'll take it in right up the middle. Stick handling and a good shot, but a great save by Paremba. Maddox Rearick now. Tudich heading off the ice.
Only 8 seconds left remaining for this power play.
Yeah, Tudich stays on the ice as that Miola penalty expired. As there's 2 seconds left. Now RMU's Rorick penalty will head back on. We're back to full strength. Couple one-time tries by Adams. The net is off its pegs. 4:02 remain, and we are back to 5-on-5 hockey.
That was a beautiful chance right there, that little one-timer, just as RMU got their man back out of the box. Nonetheless, still got a 2-goal lead here with 3:54 remaining, and Hawks are doing a great job of conserving the lead so far, Josh.
And they've sort of just nurtured this lead all the way through the third period. Fairman over at the RMU penalty box. That's a dangerous area for him. He does leave with no other altercations, it looks like.
He had a few choice words for whoever was right next to him.
Draw in RMU's end. Miller fighting forward on the half wall. There's Fairman to the loose puck. He fakes a shot, hits Rearick. He felt that pressure coming behind him. Elected not to shoot. Miller down low. There's Hoffman trying to spring it forward. Fairman collects it and fires it in. It's a shoulder save, another cross-ice feed. Hoffman misses the open net. Now here's Dobransky, down low, trying to start their rush, but IUP just holds it in. Now they exit the zone. Rorick feeding Ragno the other way across ice, misses the outside of the net. Seitz sticks it away. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Stick down by Rearick. They are offsides, but he's tied up there in neutral ice as we hear a whistle. It was him and Schmidt fighting for the puck. Eventually fighting for the puck, then turning into fighting with each other. But
yeah.
We'll leave that part out.
And it's actually shocking that there was no call there with all of the pleasantries we've exchanged and things that have been said on the ice. Kind of shocking that they didn't put any of them in the box for that little scruffle.
The loose puck turned around there and neutralized by Chiramonte. Burkett has it in his own end. 3 minutes left here in the third period. Backs against the wall for Robert Morris. Soft dump, avoids the rafters down into the near corner.
Oh, great move back there by Maddox to fake out his guy.
He just sort of enters flow state whenever he is starting the rush from his own end and just finds path through other skaters that, other defensemen would not otherwise be able to see. Because now there's a couple of missed calls, you could say, by the officials, some hits away from the puck.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what flow state means, as for our generation, quick steal there if I fill somebody, gives it right back up. Wow, what a chance there
yeah,
from
Miola. Yeah, a little
Miola.
redirect by Miola. Now he's glued to the corner. But as you were saying, flow state.
Yeah, flow state. It's just getting in the zone for anybody who's a little bit older and it's not with this new generation's terms.
Remba out of his crease, playing that puck, feeding Miola. Now Miola trying to dance through the Colonials. Takes it through center ice, and he'll enter the zone by himself. Still stick handling. He was unable to avoid the stick of Medved.
Oh, great move by Harv.
Harvey hits Miola on the left wing. And he'll just give it up high to safety for Seitz. Back down on the half wall, Miola has it. He'll go up high now. Turnaround shot off of the helmet of Crivelli. It's a good way to use your head. Here's Gray now at the goal line. Harvey picks away the loose puck, takes a shot, misses well wide. The net did come off its pegs, but it's fixed by Colburn. Now Miola hits Gray. Gray down the goal line, holding it to his back end, that long reach. Harvey again, 1:15 left.
It's good seeing Harvey up here playing with the forwards after his goal last week. Had quite a snipe off a turnaround shot like that.
Harvey turned it around into the corner, just trying to dump it deep, but RMU does get the clear. No icing. 57 seconds left here in the third period. IUP's got the 2-goal lead. Colonial's going to need a miracle here. Paremba out of his crease. Plays it hard off of the corner.
40 seconds left in this third period.
Now at the center line, Dobransky and Finnegan play catch, a dump down in. Fairman collects it with 34 seconds. He hits Burkett up to Tudich. He's glued to the wall. Now clear, but RMU is able to keep it in. 25 seconds left. Looks like we're going to softly skate the rest of this one out. We'll mention IUP hits the road tomorrow to Kent State. Will remain the CHMA action. See if they can get some more clean conference points, as they will gain some clean conference points here tonight against the Colonials after this 6 seconds expires, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, just a great performance from the Hawks, and it's going to set them up well heading into tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, a good team win, a lot of confidence before the Hawks hit the road. Up to Kent, Ohio, but of course not without sending the Colonials packing on this Friday evening game. IUP 5-3, the victors. They get one more conference win. I think that's all we got for the IUP Hockey Network. My name is Josh Yates. With me, Alex Duffalo, as always. We'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 at Kent, Ohio, to present you the Golden Flashes versus the IUP Crimson Hawks.